To successfully file an insurance claim related to a car accident, it helps to have a police or vehicle accident report. If a police report is not filed, it is important to submit an MV-104 form to the New York State DMV within 10 days of any incident. If you need help filing an MV-104 form, you can refer to our previous video, Filing a New York DMV MV-104 Form. This video focuses on how to request a vehicle accident report for any New York State-based accident. If you recently had an accident and the police were involved and filed a report, you can typically directly pick up the accident report at the police station involved in filing the report, 3 to 5 days after the accident. Go to the New York DMV page related to ordering motor vehicle accident reports. If you scroll down the page, it'll give you a sense of when the reports are typically available to request. If the accident happened within New York City, usually the report is available on the DMV system 14 days after the accident. Remember, you can directly go to the involved NYPD precinct to pick up the report for free, typically 3 to 5 days after the accident. If the police filed the report outside of New York City, the accident report is available on the DMV system, typically 30 days after the accident. Remember, you can typically pick up the police report for free, 3 to 5 days after the accident at the police station, which was involved in creating the report. And thirdly, if a person filled out an MV-104 form, the report is typically available 60 days after the accident. Now, scrolling back up, let's follow the directions of how to search and order an accident report online. Note, according to the DMV, it keeps accident reports for up to 4 years from the date of the accident. Up front, the DMV says they charge a $7 search fee and a $15 report fee for each report. So make sure you have a debit or credit card handy. Before we start the process, make sure you have the following information: date of accident, New York State County of accident, plate number of at least one vehicle involved in the accident. Once you have that information, let's scroll down and click the blue button that says, Order Motor Vehicle Accident Reports Online. Note, at the top of the page it says, that if you are requesting a report where no one was hurt, and the property damage was less than $1,000, that those reports can only be requested by mail. We will go over the mail request process later on in the video. Assuming the accident had an injury and/or property damage above $1,000, let's continue with step 1 of 7. Enter in your information. If you represent a company or organization, do not put a comma in that field, or it will give you an error message when you submit the form. Once you have filled out the information, select the relevant bubble that applies, and click Continue. The next page, we have 2 options to search. One is to search by reports on file, by date and county of accident. And the other is to search by plate number, license number, or DMV accident case number. It's best to choose option 1 first, because you can confirm a report exists before paying the search fee of $7. After entering in the county and date of accident, click List Reports on File. Then search the page and enter in your plate to see if you can find a match. If you can't find a match, then searching via option 2 is better. But just know you will need to pay the $7 up front. Once we find a match, click the relevant DMV case number hyperlink. You are now brought to step 4 of 7, where it asks you to certify the information before paying. If you certify the information, check the box and click Continue. You will then be led to a New York DMV payment portal, where you will need to pay the $7. Enter in your payment and billing information correctly. Since we searched by the exact DMV case number, after our $7 payment we are brought to step 5, where we are now asked to pay $15 for each police report. Check the necessary box or boxes, and click Request Selected Reports. Step 6 asks us to confirm the information and acknowledge the $15 per report charge, which in this example totals $30. Assuming everything is correct, check the box, I agree to the above certification, and click Continue. After you pay, you have now successfully completed all the steps. Make sure you click the bottom blue button, Open PDF Report, as the DMV will not email you a copy of the report. If for whatever reason you lose access to the report, you can gain access again within 7 calendar days, which we will go over later on in the video. After you click Open PDF Report, make sure to save the PDF on your electronic device. In the event you want to mail in an accident report request to the New York DMV, or if the police did not file an accident report, due to there being no injuries or less than $1,000 of property damage, you must follow the mailing instructions on requesting an accident report. If the request arises from no injuries and minor property damage, that incident would have required the proactive submission of an MV-104 form. New York State guidance is to wait 60 days after the accident occurred before you request an accident report that is not a police report. Once 60 days has passed, go back to the New York DMV Accident Report homepage and scroll towards the middle of the page, stopping at the heading, By Mail. As the instructions mention, you will need the date of the accident and the New York county where the accident occurred. It also mentions, you will need one of the following: plate number of a vehicle involved in the accident, driver license number of a person who was involved in the accident, name and date of birth of a person who was involved in the accident. In addition, similar to the online process, have as much information about the accident and parties involved on hand as well. Once you have the necessary information, let's click on the hyperlink, Request for Copy of Accident Report. The form is relatively straightforward to fill out and try to fill out as much as possible. Given you are likely making a request for your own motorist report as a result of an MV-104 filing, since a police report does not exist, check Motorist Report. Write your name, and any other names such as the other driver, or drivers in the incident, who you believe could have submitted an MV-104 form. Then follow the payment instructions. You will likely request one report per listed motorist for $15. In this example, the subtotal will be $25. Unless you have a DMV account number, check off the check/money order box and make out a check or money order payable to Commissioner of Motor Vehicles. Finally, at the bottom enter the address where you want the report sent to. After you have filled out the form to the best of your ability and have the check or money order ready, you will mail both to the listed Albany address. As mentioned, if the DMV cannot find an accident based on the information you provide, they will notify you by certified letter. After purchasing an accident report online, you have 7 calendar days, not business days, to access your reports again if you've misplaced the original download. Go back to the New York DMV Accident Report homepage, and scroll towards the bottom of the page. Stopping at the heading, Access Accident Reports, you already purchased online. You will need 3 pieces of information before you proceed. Email address, the one used for the original transaction. Date of original transaction, when you bought the accident report, which is simply the date you got the email confirmation. 7-digit report transaction number. This can be found in the email confirming the original accident report transaction. Once you have this information, click the blue button that reads, Access Reports Purchased Online in the Last 7 Days. You will then be brought to a screen, where it asks you for the previously mentioned information. Fill out the relevant information, and click Continue. You will then be allowed to download the accident report again. Remember, this option is only available for 7 calendar days after the original purchase of the accident report. If more than 7 calendar days have passed, you will need to order the report again and pay the fees. We hope you found this video helpful. Please let us know any questions you have in the comments below.